Most men over 60 don't realize it, but the first thing you eat in the morning could be the difference between great blood flow and a sluggish, fading performance in the bedroom. That's because circulation down there, the kind that powers strong, dependable erections, is controlled by more than just your heart. It's linked to the food you put on your plate the moment you wake up. If your breakfast is missing key ingredients that support nitric oxide, hormone balance, and blood vessel health, you could be sabotaging your testosterone and energy before your day even starts. I'm Dr. Blake Morgan, a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men over 60 restore their circulation, erections, and energy without relying on medication. In this video, I'll show you exactly what food to eat in the morning to increase circulation to your lower body, and why it works better than most pills. If you're ready to take real control of your health, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. And let me know in the comments, do you usually skip breakfast or eat something light? Type 1 if you eat a full breakfast or 0 if you don't. All right, let's talk about what's really missing from your plate. The one is beetroot. Beetroot might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of breakfast. But if you're a man over 60 and want better blood flow, especially down there, it could be one of the most powerful changes you make to your morning. You see, beets are naturally rich in something called nitrates, and your body turns those nitrates into nitric oxide, the key molecule your blood vessels use to open up and send more blood where it's needed. Now, why is this so important for your erections, your energy, and your overall performance as a man? Because erections don't just rely on hormones like testosterone, they rely on blood flow. Strong, healthy blood vessels are like flexible garden hoses. They need to widen and fill easily. But as we age, those vessels stiffen and narrow. Blood doesn't move as freely. And nitric oxide, the very thing that tells your vessels to relax and expand, starts to disappear from your body. In fact, by age 60, your nitric oxide production can be cut in half. This is one reason many older men notice their erections aren't what they used to be. But here's the good news. Eating the right foods, especially in the morning, can change that. Beets give your body a natural supply of nitrates to convert into nitric oxide. That means better circulation, stronger blood flow, and more oxygen getting to the tissues that matter, including your penis, your heart, and even your brain. Take Harold, a 70-year-old retired dentist. He used to cycle every weekend and was sharp as a tack. But over the years, he noticed something wasn't right. His energy dipped, his feet were always cold, and his morning erections had stopped showing up. Like most men, he thought it was just aging. But when we sat down and reviewed his habits, one thing stood out: his breakfast. It was nothing but white toast, butter, and coffee. No color, no nutrients, and nothing to support his circulation. So we made one simple change. I had him add a beet-based smoothie to his morning. He blended up a small cooked beet with half a banana, some spinach, a bit of ground flaxseed, and a splash of water. Nothing fancy, just real food. And within 2 weeks, Harold noticed a difference. His hands and feet felt warmer, he was sleeping better. And one morning, to his surprise, he woke up with a firm erection again. It wasn't magic. It was nitric oxide doing its job. And for those of you who don't like beets, I get it. They're earthy, they're different. But you don't have to eat them raw or plain. You can roast them in the oven, slice them over eggs, or blend them into a smoothie with fruits like banana or berries to soften the taste. Once you get into the habit, it's easy, and the benefits can be huge. Just one heads up, if you're buying beet juice at the store, be very careful. A lot of those brands sneak in added sugars. That can spike your insulin, lower your testosterone, and cancel out the benefits. Always check the label and avoid anything with sugar or artificial sweeteners. The best choice is to make it fresh at home. Even steaming a few beets at the start of the week and storing them in the fridge can make it easy to grab and go. What's even more exciting is that beetroot doesn't just help with circulation. It also supports your testosterone, indirectly but powerfully. When blood flow improves to your testicles, they work better. They get more oxygen, more nutrients, and they can make more testosterone naturally. Beets also help clean out your liver, which is where excess estrogen gets processed. So you're not only boosting what makes you a man, you're also clearing out what slows you down. This simple vegetable can do a lot more than you'd expect. So if your mornings feel sluggish, if your energy is low, or if you just miss waking up with that strong, confident feeling, give beets a try. Now that we've covered the power of beetroot, let's move on to the next morning food that helps ramp up blood flow, stamina, and male vitality. And this one might already be in your kitchen. The two is oats, but not just any kind. You've probably had a bowl of oatmeal at some point in your life. It's warm, filling, and feels like the kind of breakfast a doctor might recommend. And in many ways, that's true. But here's the key. Not all oats are created equal. And for men over 60 who want better blood flow to down there, the type of oats you choose and what you add to them can make all the difference. Let's start with why oats matter in the first place. Oats are rich in something called beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that helps reduce bad cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar. When your cholesterol drops and your blood sugar stays stable, your blood vessels stay flexible and clear. And that's essential for strong erections, because your penis is basically a network of tiny blood vessels, and those vessels need to be clean, relaxed, and full of nitric oxide to function properly. But there's more. Oats also help reduce inflammation, especially when paired with antioxidant-rich toppings like berries, flax seeds, or even a drizzle of olive oil. And some studies suggest oats may support testosterone production indirectly by improving metabolic health, the system that regulates everything from blood pressure to belly fat. Now, here's the catch. Most men are eating instant oats, the kind that come in flavored packets. Those are usually loaded with sugar, artificial flavors, and chemicals that cancel out all the benefits. They spike your blood sugar fast, then crash your energy, and over time, they wear down your arteries, especially the ones responsible for sending blood to your lower regions. That's what happened to Walter, a 68-year-old former truck driver who came to me complaining of low energy, poor sleep, and what he called half-awake mornings. When I asked about his breakfast, he proudly told me he'd switched from bacon and eggs to oatmeal. But when I asked what kind, he said, "The maple brown sugar packets, they're easy." Easy, yes. Healthy, not so much. We swapped those sugary packets for steel-cut oats, the kind that take a little longer to cook but keep your blood sugar steady and your circulation strong. I had him mix in some blueberries and cinnamon, skip the sugar, and add a spoonful of ground flaxseed. Within a month, Walter's energy was up. His blood pressure dropped. He said he was waking up more refreshed, and most importantly, those quiet, private morning signals of manhood had returned. You don't need to be a chef to do this. Just boil some water, pour in a half cup of steel-cut oats, let it simmer, and you're done. If you want it faster, soak them overnight and heat them up in the morning. And remember, what you add matters. Avoid brown sugar or syrup. Instead, go for berries, cinnamon, chopped nuts, or even a splash of unsweetened almond milk. These small choices all support better blood flow, steadier hormones, and longer-lasting vitality. So the next time you're standing in the breakfast aisle trying to decide, skip the sugar-packed packets. Go with real oats and build a morning routine that strengthens your heart, your arteries, and yes, your erections. The 3 is dark chocolate, yes, really, but only the right kind. This one surprises most men, especially the ones who have been told to avoid sweets altogether. But if you choose the right kind of dark chocolate, it can actually boost your circulation, protect your blood vessels, and help restore firmness and energy where it counts most. Let's talk about why. True dark chocolate, we're talking 70% cacao or higher, is packed with natural plant compounds called flavonoids. These are powerful antioxidants that help your blood vessels relax, reduce blood pressure, and improve the flow of blood throughout your body, including to the penis. And better blood flow means better oxygen delivery, stronger erections, and more endurance, not just in the bedroom, but throughout your day. Now, here's the key. Most chocolate products are not real dark chocolate. They're loaded with sugar, milk solids, and hydrogenated oils, which undo all the benefits. That's why we're not talking about a Snickers bar here. We're talking about small squares of unsweetened or low-sugar dark chocolate, preferably organic, with no artificial ingredients. There's a study from the Journal of the American Heart Association that showed men who consumed high-flavonoid dark chocolate regularly had better arterial flexibility and lower risk of erectile dysfunction, especially as they aged. That's not candy doing that. That's medicinal-grade cocoa working with your blood vessels. Now let me introduce you to Charles, 72, a retired mail carrier who was fit, walked every day but struggled with performance issues for years. He was frustrated. His heart was strong, his labs were good, but intimacy had become inconsistent and awkward. After reviewing his diet, we noticed he'd cut out all fats and treats, even healthy ones, thinking it would help his circulation. I explained that not all fat is bad, and some plant-based sources like cacao are actually vital for testosterone and blood flow. So we added just 1 or 2 squares of 85% dark chocolate to his daily routine, usually mid-afternoon with a handful of walnuts. Within 6 weeks, he came back beaming. He said his wife had noticed the difference before he did. His confidence had returned. He wasn't just performing better, he was enjoying himself again, something he hadn't felt in years. If you're thinking about trying this, here's what matters. Read the label carefully. Go for chocolate that's 70% cacao or higher. Avoid bars with sugar listed as the first ingredient. Even better if it contains added ingredients like maca root or L-arginine, both of which support nitric oxide levels and circulation. And don't overdo it. 1 or 2 small squares a day is plenty. Think of it like a supplement, not a snack. And remember, the goal isn't just stronger erections, it's better vascular health. Your brain, your heart, your legs, your reproductive system, they all depend on healthy blood vessels. That's why a small square of dark chocolate might be the most enjoyable health food you've never taken seriously. So if you're over 60 and struggling with sluggish blood flow or loss of drive, give dark chocolate a fair try, the right kind, in the right amount. It's a simple, delicious way to support your manhood naturally. And best of all, it's a habit you'll look forward to every single day.